let's move on to our next topic, which has to do with the minority demanding ministerial reshuffle, and they cite the fact that ministers refuse to come to Parliament to answer, to brief the House on critical matters of national interest. And we're asking, is it a good call or premature? Maybe I start with you.
Reshuffle, they are talking about a law that will say that we cannot have a minister who is an MP. You see, that is
no.
The reshuffle, it doesn't. When they were in power, did they reshuffle for 8 years? What did they do? So they shouldn't even go there. To me,
they weren't at that point.
No, to me, no. Whatever it was their party.
Yes.
It was their president.
Yes.
What did they do? Even when 80 MPs stood up that they should sack Kenoforiata, what happened? Me, as a Ghanaian, what I want to see is an MP having a full concentration on the constituency. Not the MP doubling as a minister, who sometimes the constituency needs him, but because of his ministerial duties, he cannot be there. This is where the challenge is, okay? And that is where we should talk about this constitution that demands that a section portion of your government should be MPs. That is what we should scrap. And say that if you're an MP, concentrate on being an MP. That will even stop people from trying to catch the eyeball of the president. That is why most people. So let's look at it. It's not about reshuffle. Who cares about reshuffle? For 8 years, what did they do?
Okay.
8 years, what did they do? 80 MPs stood against the removal of Ken Oforiatta.
But doesn't that mean that the power does not lie in there?
You are not getting my point. So the reshuffle, if it doesn't lie in your hands, then what are you talking about it? You get my point? If you have no control over it, why are you talking? Even 80 MPs could not even hold the presidency in check. Okay? And some of us know the reason why they gave up. In other jurisdictions, they will stand to their grounds. That is what you do. That's why I was telling you that if I was ever an MP, my own party, especially when they are in government, I will use my voting in Parliament to get a lot of development into my constituency. Because if you want me to vote for you, I'll tell you, okay, fine. Massa, there are 10 projects in Ghana. If you give me one, especially when it's close representation. That is what you do. In other words, that's why you hear in America they say a Republican is siding with the Democrat. A Democrat is siding with the Republican because of their constituency and their interest to make sure that this is what is done. Not telling me about reshuffle. Reshuffle what? For 8 years, we sat in this country. 8 solid years that we all complained that people should be reshuffled. Okay? Then they will tell you that, oh, it is okay, it's not about the person, but please, let's not listen, like I said.
So putting the 8 years aside, you don't think it's the right call for them to make?
They should reshuffle.
That if the ministers are not coming to Parliament to answer critical questions.
Talk about Parliament issues.
Okay.
Reshuffle is not in your domain. Okay. Reshuffle is the decision of the president. So, like I'm saying, if the Constitution says that, if you're an MP, stay as an MP. If you're a minister, but they have ministers who are not MPs. They have ministers who are not MPs. So, what difference does it make? They have ministers who are not MPs. All I'm saying is, is the Constitution that is making this thing very difficult. Because the Constitution, I think it's 25% or something.
No, majority of your MPs should come.
No, there's a number. There's a number.
You're talking about about 70%.
Yes, 70%. How do you take 70% of your
ministers from Parliament?
Ministers from Parliament. Okay, it makes some MPs inefficient because maybe some MP who did not get the eye of the president can even be a better minister. Okay, so let's look at it and say, what is wrong with this constitution? Okay, how do we make it better? If we need to go for a referendum, let's go for a referendum.
I think this is one of the issues that has been raised over and over by the amendment, the Constitutional
Amendment Committee.
So
they will be presenting their report.
It's ironical for minority to be calling for reshuffle, as Senior Capito has already said. But the most important thing I want to deal with is about the impression being created that ministers are not coming to the chamber to answer questions. I think
is that not true?
That is total
misrepresentation.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Total misrepresentation of the fact. And in this particular instance, it was a Greek minister and the minister for public state, Minister of State in charge of public affairs. And you know, Kojo, that Honorable Eric Opoku has been very diligent, very punctual in the chamber. In fact, after the minority whip raised the issue, he even said, as for Eric, he is dutiful, and for him, I mean, that's the only time. And he is out on official assignment out there. So Honorable Eric Opoku, everybody will attest to the fact that. So in this particular instance, it is not about an MP who is afraid to be on the mic or who has not been responding to queries. In fact, you know, he's very media friendly, organizing press conferences, and every opportunity granted to him to explain issues. He's very happy to be there. So I just want to disabuse the minds of people who are thinking because the Honorable Agric Minister was due and he was not there, that means ministers are not coming. That is not the case. He, in particular, is a very diligent, dutiful, and very, very competent Agric Minister who has always been in the chamber to answer questions. So that's the point I want to make.
Okay.
And to emphasize on what he said, calling for reshuffle, that's the sole prerogative of the president.
So nobody has the right to ask that.
And you know, President Mahama's record is clear for everybody to see.
Okay.
That he wouldn't be going 8 years without making changes, or he wouldn't be going full 4 years without making changes here. And you know, reshuffle does not necessarily mean firing some ministers. Sometimes you move them around to different ministries, and definitely within the 4 years.
But the defense minister has been there for some time. We haven't had a substantive Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology.
But His Excellency said we should all go for Christmas in peace, after which then he will do those appointments. Who knows? Maybe as part of making those two important cabinet appointments, he will be moving people here and there.
Okay. Let me bring in Dr. Kwangasa Asante for his point on this. Or maybe, hold on, let me take Mr. Capito's
but let me ask you a question. As a minister or as a member of parliament, especially the minister, when you are going outside for official duties, don't you write?
Oh, yeah.
So then what is the brouhaha?
So you wrote, in fact.
No, I'm just asking. What is the brouhaha? When you know that the man is not around and the man has traveled and the man is coming back tomorrow, why do you schedule him for him to come to
parliament? The whip said he has even received the communication.
No, I'm just
he
asking
said,
a question.
On the floor, he said he's received communication from the Minister of Agri that is not available on that day.
No, I'm just asking a question.
So he even read that. Okay. But you know, sometimes, Capito, some of these things are political theatrics to raffle feathers.
From both sides,
so
not from one
he will
side.
hit and even mention NDC stalwart. He mentioned that Honorable Van der Poel has been lacing his shoes, waiting for appointments. So some of these things are raised to create confusion in the ranks and file of the other side.
Okay. All right. Let me bring in Dr. Asante. Doc, what do you make of the minority's call for President to reshuffle ministers?
Let me say that reshuffling is not just done for the fun of it.
Okay.
Reshuffling is done for specific purposes. And from time to time, ministers are moved to one position or another or are taken out of politics. One of the reasons why we reshuffle is non-performance. If you see that a minister is not performing up to expectation, you take the person off. Another thing is that when you are making a fresh start, sometimes there is a policy you want to introduce, but you believe that Kojo or Mr. Capito is the best person to implement that policy for you. You bring that person in to be able to do the work. Apart from that, you can also reshuffle based on what? Scandals. There's a scandal that has hit a certain ministry, you take the minister off and the rest of them. And then sometimes there is also a gender requirement or a certain constitutional requirement. You have lost a certain person, and per the gender requirement, you are short off by that number. You need to replace. So there's a whole lot. But let us remember that you can't change a winning team. If you have a team and they are doing well, you can't change them just for changing sake. So these things are done very carefully in order to achieve results. But let me also digress a little bit and answer Mr. Capito when you talk about the fact that we don't see performance simply because there's somebody who doubles out as minister and an MP. I disagree with the respect to Mr. Capito in the sense that is he saying that the system exists in Britain where ministers of state are, members of parliament as well. We don't see performance. The answer is obviously no. Your case in Ghana is a particular case, for instance, in the sense that maybe some ministers are not performing, but that is not the whole answer to the fact that, look, if you have that marriage between the legislature and executive, it produces incompetence and the rest of them.
I never use the word incompetence.
No, you are not saying, but I'm explaining that should not be there. It shouldn't be the argument at all. No, because go to Britain, ministers are performing. There is that marriage between the legislature and executive. Members of the legislature are the ministers of state, because you cannot appoint outside it. But let me also move on to broaden my conversation. If you want to change the system, there's nothing wrong. But remember that the Constituent Assembly that look at how we should, how to craft the 1992 Constitution, they took into consideration the 1969 Constitution, which was the Westminster, in other words, parliamentary system of government, compared it with the presidential system of 1979, and then decided that we should have a hybrid, that type of hybrid where you will have some ministers outside parliament and some ministers from parliament. It depends on the individuals and the system that is in place. And of course, the leader who supervises everything and makes sure that people work. You can have the best system or whatever system you call it. If you don't have somebody who's a leader, who sees beyond his ethnic group or his nation, to be able to bring policies that stand the test of time, will be able to whip ministers in line and for them to do work. He will not sacrifice loyalty for competence. And if you have such leaders, obviously, you are likely to have a difficulty. But if you have leaders who, all things being equal, they are who they are, they have their eyes on the ball, and then they want to deliver and leave a legacy, they will be able to turn things around. So the system does not necessarily happen, because this hybrid that you have exists in France, exists in Scandinavian countries, and we've seen performance. So it's not about the system, but the drivers of the system. That is the issue.
All right. Okay. Let's see how this goes up. So as for the call for reshuffle, I think the consensus is that it's premature, huh?
It's not even premature. It's not even premature. Okay. The question, like, look, you have ministers, okay, and that is the standard of the way we do business in Ghana, okay. Even you write a letter to a ministry, acknowledgement of the letter that we received your letter. In due course, we will revert or call you for an engagement. You can even take 4 letters and they will still pretend as if they haven't received anything. Because the secretary of the reception that takes the letter and the minister, there's a break.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not the minister's fault.
Yes, yeah.
Sometimes it's not the minister's fault.
I was even going to ask whether it's the minister or is the people at the ministry.
Because if the minister tells the people in the ministry, like he's talking about leadership, how dare you that I have a letter addressed to me and then you don't bring it to me? It's why it wasn't addressed to you. It's addressed to the minister. So you receive and then you process it for the minister to look at it. Or there should be somebody responsible for that. And it's nothing new. You know, look, other jurisdictions, right? And I'm sure some MPs, some ministers also do, will go to Parliament and tell them that a member of my constituency, okay, has sent me here to come and deliver this thing. Let's look at it. Okay, sometimes, yes, the only time people go to the MPs and the ministers is they go there for school fees and funeral donations. They don't go there for
all sort of requests.
Yeah, I'm just saying. And because the process that you went through to become an MP has given them opportunity for them to come back. I refuse to go and stand at Asofa in Ashanti region. Kumasi to be precise.
Okay. Because
I refuse that, I will not do what you people do. There's a boy in Kumasi, he's like up here stadium. Yeah. When he sees me at Kumasi, Kofi Kapito, CEO of Consumer Protection Agency, was one to bribe, as Square MP, only leader. And I'm telling you, in public. You see?
But we should have that conversation.
No, I'm just saying.
About how people have monetized election.
Look,
that if you don't pay, you don't get it.
Can I tell you what? When I get to Kumasi, I get angry at these boys. Chairman, no size. And they do that. It is not proper. I told that guy that, Pabna, I like you. If you want something from me, don't shout my name in public. Come to me. Maybe somebody's looking for me to hurt me. He doesn't even know how I look. And they don't even think about it. You would expose me to the people who wants to harm me. Maybe they are looking for me, they don't even know who I am. And this is, and they feel good about it. They feel good about it.
I'm not sure.
Oh, they do.
I'm not sure. Because the pressure on them financially is enormous.
No, but they like the name calling it. Those things they like. They like. You get my point? So the question is, are we going to make things a little bit... we can't change because we are Ghanaians and we are Africans.
Yes, but I know that. Let's a bit digression here. Since when, even though we are Ghanaians, did we decide to peg who can really pay more to then become our leader? Since when did that happen? Did it start?
I remember 1992. NPP was even... The party was even paying for people to represent them. Right? Because people were not even interested. So they will come and tell, oh, don't worry, we will help you, blah, 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 blah. After that, all hell broke loose. That now, you see, you are the media men, you see people at the polling stations and the voting places, and they are showing you that we've taken Honorable Stuga's money. We are waiting for Kofi Kapito's money. Yeah. If he doesn't bring it, we won't vote. And you don't even ask them, what the hell are you saying? You media people. You media people. That person is not a good Ghanaian. Because you are telling me that, yes, even though you've taken his money.
Then all of your delegates are not good Ghanaian. Because they all take it.
No, that is what I'm saying. Taking. No, but if you put them, you see, you don't put them on the spot.
Okay.
You don't let them know that it is not proper for them to even say it on television. Yes, if you've taken it, I've been involved in elections before. Okay, and I know what goes on. Anybody that says he's a freaking liar, I tell you, it's a freaking liar. Because that is a system we have built. And people will tell you, look, I had a whole member of parliament who had been an ambassador before, who approached me and told me that somebody that I was close with, when he came to parliament, did not give them money. Okay. And then I was angry because I know him. Still, I'm not cool with him. You guess what? The day of that election, I had a lot of faith because a young man was looking for me. He's about 23 years. He said, Mr. Capito, I am from the central region. When you people came, you shared envelopes for us. But because I believe in your candidate, take your envelope back. If you have young men like that, that means there might be a future. Not a grown-ass MP, a former ambassador who was demanding money. If you get offer, I'll mention his name to you. You get my point? It doesn't make any sense. A young man who doesn't have anything saw the belief in what he was doing. It's not about money. Get the envelope back to me. He was crying and I was crying. Because I felt, finally, maybe there's hope for Ghana. Okay, so we should stop that. There's money in every election in the world. But bribe shouldn't be one of them. Spending money, carrying people, making sure they are registered. Look, in other jurisdictions, people even volunteer. Is it Obama or Clinton's campaign? Small children.
Obama.
Took their piggy banks to donate. Young children, that means they believe in democracy.
Yeah.
How many Ghanaian children will get to tell them to take their money to go?
But from where we've gotten to, do you have that hope that we can come back?
That boy gave me hope. Yes. He's one though. Maybe there's another one somewhere. Stuttgart might have one in his constituency.
So Stuttgart knows what the pain is going through.
No, what I'm saying is...
The monies will be paying.
So let's encourage them. I've been looking for that boy ever since. I've never seen him again.
Okay.
I want people like that to be at the front. Educate. Look, the university wings of the political parties, they are the most corrupt wings.
Oh, yeah. But that's where it starts. That's where they start.
Look, I was close to Ali Mahama. May his soul rest in perfect peace. The former vice president. We took TESCOM. We brought them in a bus to a program. We fed them and everything. We gave them bus to go back. They were angry because we hadn't given them money. So I asked them that, then what is your commitment to the party? What is your commitment? And this is how we should talk to our children. It should start from the kindergarten so that they can grow with it. That is the thing. Now people don't even do favors anymore. Somebody even finds you a parking, Masa Nawoko.
Yeah.
You get my point?
Yeah.
The whole thing, everybody is now looking because the people at the top, we see them. Maybe it's not true, but that's what we see. Who doesn't want to have a DSTV in his house? Who doesn't want to have air conditioning in his house? So, they're buying in a container kiosk. Also wants an air condition, but he doesn't have the job. He doesn't have the means. So he will come and do lala sulala. You know, and this thing is getting out of control. When I look, yesterday, I got to Kotoka Airport at the health post. I put my passport in front of the girl. Oh, daddy, now we jam a I took my passport and walked that way. At the Kotoka Airport, health post. Everywhere. You get my point? She doesn't even know who I am. And she's not even afraid. And then say, oh, Ghana for the year child here. You know, you're my bride, you're in child here. We should stop lying to ourselves. And it's time that we spoke the truth. And let people know that, listen, telling the truth, Ghana, if you tell the truth, they say you are a very, very bad person. It doesn't pay to tell the truth in Ghana. Even within your own party, if you are seen to be telling the truth and doing the right thing, you are sidelined. You are sidelined.
Oh, this country.
But in every leader, you should have the people who come and hear concern to you, and you should have the people who also come and tell the right thing to you. Then you balance.
Yeah.
Concern is good. Because without the concern people, you cannot even go through the day. But you should be able to see when the right people come. That's why when you have a good chief of staff, those things will reduce.
Okay. All right. I'm sure he's saying what...
This monetization, for me, is likened to the chicken and egg situation.
Okay.
You know? What the voters are saying, delegates say, oh, when they vote you and you go, you don't represent their interests, so they want to exact their pound.
What is their interest? Have you asked them what are their interests?
I'm telling you what they say.
Have you asked them what their interests?
Then the politicians are also thinking, why should they give before they give an opportunity? It is about time, Kojo.
Well,
there are patriotic people who are ready to represent their people. Kojo, in my case, if you've gone through my history, senior, that was my third attempt, and
that means you spend plenty of money.
And let me tell you, not precisely so. In each of the primaries, if money was the sole factor, I would have lost in each of them. But because I was the last in terms of financial resources.
You was banked.
Yet they had confidence.
But cumulatively, you've spent, I think, close to 10 million, won't you?
It's been a very long journey from 2012.
So you spent too much money.
No, yeah, but what I'm saying is, it's not all the time that money wins.
We
should be we should agree with that fact. And again,
that's why I said, for me,
now that I've been given opportunity, I want to work with diligence, transparency, and be accountable to them. The next 4 years, I expect the job I've done to reflect in the lives of the people. By so doing, they will. I'm justifying the confidence they
will appreciate you.
And let's wait and see. Maybe they will not require the money to give me another opportunity.
They will look at Ghana.
What is
politicians are paying. They are paying too much.
It's funny. It's funny. I know somebody, and the other day I told him that, Master, stop bragging, because you've been in Parliament for 4 or 5 times. Every 4 years, you panic. If you are doing the right thing, you shouldn't panic.
All right, thank you very much. Let me bring in Dr. Asante. Doc, I want you to start on the Asante presenting the mediation report on Bawku to the president, but you can start from this whole monetization and end there quickly so that we can move on.
Monetization, unfortunately, we have it in Ghanaian politics, and it didn't start from when universities started having the political wings of political parties. It's not true. Before this phenomenon is recent, that the political, wings at the universities. Look, corruption in politics started since time of Noah, when he was a sailor. And our politicians have not stopped by inducing voters. They've done that throughout. But now it's gaining currency. Because I know that if you want to win power, 4 things are important: resources, strategy, manifesto, and message. All right. And then the resources, here you are. They distribute money a day before election. They share all the monies that they can marshal in this country, politicians. And then give to people and buy vote and all that. And come to the public and come and pretend that they are saints. It's not true. It's hypocritical. They do that from all the political actors.
All right.
But let's do said, right. I'll also touch on something before I move on. You see, part of the corruption is you see government, people in government awarding contract and people taking percentage. The height of corruption.
Let's do Bawku because of time.
Let me move on to Bawku. Yeah. Yes, I was happy to listen to the report as Asante read it and the details of it. In fact, it gladdened my heart that such a thorough job was done. What the what ought to be implemented and all that. For me, because you see, the Bawku conflict has been a problem that has hung around our neck as an albatross. So for Asante to go and his team to go into this in that detail, that fashion, and then making blunt statements and all that, and the overtures that are inherent in that report, it gives me hope that when the government white paper comes on it finally, and then what also is the other bit that they will put the feuding parties together and then start building the society. For me, is going to happen. But I want the government should extend that conversation to other areas, because you and I are live to report that there are a lot of chieftaincy disputes in this country. I want government to take a reflective mode on this, so that it reflect on them and then deal with them before they get out of hand.
Okay, all right, thank you very much. Let me bring in Kofi Capito now. Mr. Capito, just a minute on this because of our time is almost.
All I'm saying is, I wish and I hope that this report will be accepted by both parties.
Okay.
And the white paper, when it's being sent out, should not take whatever that recommendation that was made. Because I'm sure it was based on that judgment that the group agreed that this is what to do.
Yeah.
But sometimes, interest of individuals in government make things a little difficult. So I'm just hoping, because after this, honestly, I was having a discussion with some people, that after this, if peace doesn't prevail, we should allow them to kill themselves, and then whoever remains will remain.
We can't do that.
No, I'm just saying, because you see, we cannot, you see.
No, but we are told that the people have
all I'm saying is,
started.
I will hope and wish that this will stay, that you won't have somebody sitting somewhere in the corner, whether in Bawku, whether in any place, who would then, stoke fire again.
So a caution to them.
Yeah, because I think this is a bipartisan solution, because the mediation was initiated by the former president and the current president has continued with the process. So any solution found, the credit goes to both two big political parties. We should note that that is very important. And two, I am very confident that President Mahama will not water down the report Otumfuo presented. And Otumfuo himself said he read everything. Everybody heard whatever is contained in the report. And President has assured the nation that within 24 hours, so by the close of today, he will come out with a statement and implement all the content of this report. I'm very happy that eventually we're seeing solution, as Capito has said. This should bring finality. And last but not the least, Kojo, all political actors, journalists, media, key stakeholders, we should stay out of commentaries that will inflame passion. And Otumfuo added that to his report, that people should refrain from inflammatory commentaries that will jeopardize the process. This is not an event, it is a process. Now, they've come out with a report, and the report will have to be executed. So in the course of execution, we need to be very careful what we do and what we don't do.
All right. This one from Master Planner Junior says the NDC went to the grounds in Pandai to campaign, but they realized the ground is not favorable for them. They are now hiding behind Supreme Court decision to suspend the rerun and behaving like our courts are working out. No matter how long it takes, Pandai will see to remain MPP. The B is the B, Master Planner Policy Analyst in Kintampo. But you had Dixon Chredia. He is Brekum West MP. You were also joined by Kofi Capito. He is a consumer analyst, someone who's worked in the consumer protection for some time. Dr. John Osai is director of the Democracy Project, CDD, and also you had Dr. Asasante. He is a political scientist and a lecturer at the University of Ghana. This is still the AM show. We'll take a break here. We'll be back with more. Please do stay.